Go! Quick! Go! Ja! Go! Quick!
Right, I tried the easy way.
No
Time for
mercy!
the hard way. Ha!
In God's name!
Take that fucker!
Enough! I give up!
I'm gonna bash your face in! Come on then! Show your stuff! We're gonna get you, you horseman!
For the cross!
I'll be your I'm all yours! I can't shoot through you! I've been waiting for you.
Burn in hell!
Hey! Get him!
Come on,
You're a chance!
Do it!
What do you want? Show your stuff!
Take that! I'll rip your arse open!
Get him! Right between the eyes!
For glory and carnage, die!
What's wrong? I've been waiting for you! You wait.
Well, Henry, how is it going?
Right. Good doggy, good boy. Are you right in the head? Sod off with that weapon. That's right.
So much work.
Here, Mutt. Hey! Hey! Open up! Open up!
Cornwall, what are you doing, Moisha?
Foot's a caporra, piece of junk. Never mind. We'll cut this shit down. Shit is... Some piping. Ah! Wait! Don't kill him!
You're gonna beg for mercy? After this?
We can make a deal. We have some of your people. We can exchange them.
Our people? What the hell are you talking about?
We caught some of them yesterday, trying to get to Liechtenstein, just like you.
No, I'm after Liechtenstein because I need to talk to him. Not his enemy. But if you know where he is, you better take me to him. Right now.
I have my orders. I'm not supposed to let anyone near him. Especially not someone who just beat my two best men. I'm not a fool.
Right. I'll go unarmed. If that'll convince you.
I'll trust you. But in return, you have to trust me. You can't see where we're going.
All right. But no tricks.
Those are the rules.
Wait, who is that somewhere?
We will soon find out. Let us in.
Wenches or the neighbour's daughter, any dirt you can dig up. Off you go! Oh, who have you brought now, Sam?
I'm not entirely sure. But he says he knows you, and absolutely insisted he had to talk to you.
Ah. Of course. Henry. Lord Capon of Perkstein's page. We met on my visit to Rattay. He's all right.
Lord Capon's escort. And bodyguard.
quite. Quite. Oh, but tell me, what brings you here?
Well, that's quite a long story, sir.
Well, I've got plenty of time, and actually I enjoy long stories. You know why? Because they demand a lot of wine. Please, take a seat and tell me everything.
If I'm not mistaken, Jobst sent you to von Berkhoff with a message. How did that go?
Not well. As we were approaching Trotsky, we were attacked by bandits. They killed all our men.
What?
We only got away by a hair's breadth. And we lost everything, including the message. We ended up in rags, like beggars. They wouldn't let us into the castle. After that, we tried to get by as best we could.
Good God! I need a drink now. But did you manage to deliver the message in the end?
Yes, but it was touch and go.
I like exciting stories.
Well, you'll love this one, then. Apart from being ambushed and almost killed, Capon ended up on the gallows for poaching.
A nobleman on the gallows for poaching?
Well, he looked more like a tramp than a nobleman at the time. He really did have a noose round his neck, though. But it all worked out in the end.
Good gracious! But tell me, who ambushed you?
Well, that's interesting as well. Istvan Toth and some others.
What? That sneaky rat from Talmberg? He's still alive?
Not anymore.
You? Well done. Let's drink
Death to the enemy.
What happened next?
Von Berghoff was attacked around the same time by the same men, so we thought we were on the same side as him. And we wanted to help him catch the bandits as a goodwill gesture.
Why didn't he catch them himself?
He tried. We found out for him that the bandits were holed up at Nabokov. When he sent his soldiers to their lair, we went with them. We wanted to be there and get Istvan.
And that's where you killed him?
No. We were nearly killed ourselves. Again.
By Istvan?
No, he wasn't there. The bandits were led by a fella who fucked us right up, and von Bergov's entire force, too. He lured us into a trap and slaughtered everyone. Me and Capon were the only survivors.
It sounds like your guardian angel never gets a moment's rest.
Yeah, there was some luck in it. But it was more that Zizka knew he could get a ransom for Capon.
Wait, Zizka? He's the one who almost killed you.
You know him?
Of course I... Zizka is in the service of Prokop of Luxembourg. King Wenceslav...
Aye, we found that out.
And what the hell was Istvan Toth doing?
Turned out he was spying for von Berghoff. But he didn't do a great job, fortunately. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
I am starting to get confused.
That makes two of us. Maybe we'll understand...
You're not holding back, I see. After Zizka took us prisoner, it finally became clear we were on the same side. And Istvan had to flee.
So when did you kill that bastard?
Not till some time later. Just when we thought we were out of the woods and Istvan was gone, he appeared outside the walls of Nabokov again, with von Berghoff and Markvart von Aulitz. Von Aulitz was on his way to Kuttenberg with reinforcements for Sigismund. And with the finger of God.
With the what?
A bombard.
Good Lord!
Have you ever seen one? I hadn't, until they used it against us.
I've heard about the bombard. An infernal weapon. Then what?
We didn't have a chance. They blew the tower to pieces and took us all prisoner. They took us to Trotsky and tortured us. But with the help of a woman who works with Zizka, we managed to escape.
Zizka. That man always has a trick or two in reserve.
Thank God. While we were making our escape, I crossed paths with Toth, and finally took my revenge for everything he did.
Dull moment with you, I see. To happy endings, then. And where is Lord Capon? Or should I call him the Prince of Poachers?
Well, the most fitting thing to call him would be hostage. Because that's what he is now.
A hostage?
That's right. Von Bergov took him with him. And that's why I'm here, in fact.
Your original plan went badly awry, I must say.
You can say that again.
For my part, I'm forced into hiding, as you've probably noticed. They're after me as if I owed taxes. Ah, if only I knew what Jobst would say.
I know exactly what he'd say as it happens.
You do?
I spoke to Jobst just after we arrived at Suchdal. He expressly forbade me to look for you, or try to rescue Capon.
That damned... Did he say why?
Aye. He said you can look after yourself. And as a nobleman, Capon has nothing to fear in captivity.
Ah, Jobst.
I must admit, I see his point. He has plans. He wants to take advantage of the truce while it lasts. And he doesn't want to provoke... And he's probably right about Capon. Nobody's going to throw away the chance of a fat ransom, or waste a nice...
It's true I can take care of myself, but the old schemer could at least have warned me, whatever his plans might be.
Zizka sees Jobst as a pain in the arse, too. I mean, he's not fond of him.
Then I expect he and I will see eye to eye. Although I prefer a different strategy to braining all and sundry. Even so, what brings you to me? You didn't take this risk just to tell me what Jobst is like, or that I should carry on with...
No. My first concern is to rescue Lord Capon. Whatever schemes Jobst is dreaming up.
And then...
And also, it's about your safety.
My safety?
You know, they tortured us. Zizka, Godwin and me. They asked about Jobst's plans and about you. I'd have held out, but Godwin... He told them where you were.
Where I am? In this city, you mean? That's not such a terrible betrayal. Gutenberg is a big city. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Not that they have not tried. They almost caught you a couple of times. If it were not for my people.
That's true, of course. But I'm not going to bear a grudge. The executioner always gets what he wants. And if he hadn't, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Thank you. You don't know how much it means to me.
Don't worry your head over it. If I was tortured, I'd tell them everything I knew before the iron was hot.
Well, thanks.
But I'd regret it as well. I don't like pain. Nevertheless, let's turn the page. Capon. How do you plan to free...
That's exactly why I came to see you.
Oh. How's that?
Because you move in certain circles.
And...
You conspire. You hear all the rumors.
So?
So you might know where they're holding him.
Sigismund confiscated the property of some burghers and noblemen in the city when they opposed him, and he divided the property up between his loyal followers. He seized Malashov Fortress from the Rutards, for instance. And didn't you say, Sam, that he gifted it to von Berkhoff?
Yes, that is so.
That was before von Berkhoff was in these parts. But if he's here now, where else would... And if von Berkhoff is there...
That's where his captive will be.
Correct. Capon is at...
Well, that's fucked then. How the hell 3 of us conquer a fortress, and one of us a woman?
That's a conquest I'd like to see. It would go down...
The history of...
You can't just launch an assault on Malashov. It's a strong fortress. We'll need a cunning plan.
Or long ladders and lots of men. That could be arranged, maybe.
Careful! Jobst ordered us not to stir up... But if Capon simply vanished...
Vanished how, exactly?
I don't know yet. But like I said, Malashov belonged to the Rutards. And I'm sure they're not keen on the new tenant. I think if you pay a visit to Sir Kunslin Rutard and convince him you have common interests, he'll be happy to think up a solution with you.
Like what?
Who knows? Perhaps Lord Rutard knows of a back door into his old home, and he might not be averse to an arrangement with...
Well, I wouldn't get my hopes up. But it's the best we've got, and there's no harm in trying.
Sigismund seized his fortress, but, surprisingly, he let him keep his palace in the city. It's right next to the Italian court.
All right. I'll give it...
Once you have some news, you know where to find me. Is there anything you want to know before you go?
Come to think of it, I've no idea where we actually are.
Of course.
We're in the Jewish quarter, in the basement of the King Solomon Tavern, below my tavern. Goyim do not just wander in here, but I will tell my people you are with us.
Thanks a whole... All right. I'll set off now.
Good luck. It was good to see you again, Henry. And be careful. There's bound to be spies swarming around the palace. This city isn't safe.
Tell me about it. Danger is my... You said you needed some help with something.
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked... I heard they found her all hacked up. Tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, though I'm afraid she won't.
What was Alice
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something...
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
Do you think there could be something...
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that?
What are you going to do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following...
But you don't want to scare them.
I'm scared myself. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't want anyone else to die because of me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only... I'll figure something out. In the meantime...
I know everything I...
Good. Go to that graveyard. Talk. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
Good doggy. Good boy. Occasionally, will you go? I apologize.
that a new one-off tax is to be levied in this city.
Good people, gather round. You won't believe this.
I'm sorry.
I have not changed my answer. I will not sell you the rights to my mines. Not today, not tomorrow, nor in 100 years. You will not get your hands on my silver.
You forget, I have influential friends. If you won't sell the mines, you'll lose them. Just like Malishov. Along with your life, if you defy me.
Mind your step. Two can play that game. Did you really think that I didn't know you were stealing the royal silver, eh? When your self-proclaimed king finds that out, your head will be on the chopping block.
Seize that traitor!
Not another step.
You'll get yours too, Turtle Dove. What are you waiting for? Can't you see? They're threatening the Royal Mint Master!
He's one of them! Get him!
Come on! Too slow!
Hey! Stop reaching! You'll pay for that! Quick, lad!
You bastard! And death for a death! Useless! Hack your ass off! Yeah! Don't spare him!
Damn. They gave me a going over. Good thing you showed up, lad.
You alright, sir? Looks like you took some hits.
It's just a scratch.
Papa! My God! You're hurt!
I'm all right. What the hell was that, Rosa?
I saved your life. Didn't you notice?
We would have been in the right if you hadn't taken the shot. Now we have the blood of the king's men on our hands. Do you have any idea what this means?
Was I supposed to let one of Sigismund's lackeys insult us in our own home?
And you thought this was a better solution?
You know what? Let's just leave it be. I don't want to argue in front of the young man here. Apologies for the mess, stranger. There aren't usually so many corpses strewn about our courtyard.
Apology accepted.
We'll call the guards and tell them what happened. That Ulrich Vavak and his men attacked us for no reason.
You think that will make them let us off the hook?
Not for free. But knowing young Plimo, the commander of the guard, I'm sure he won't refuse my coin. But back to you, lad. Who are you? And why have you graced us with your visit?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, squire to Lord Capon of Perkstein.
Pleased to meet you. Conslin Routard. And this feisty creature here is my daughter Rosa.
Like father, like daughter.
Why did your master send you to me, Henry?
He didn't, sir. Unfortunately, he's in enemy captivity.
We're sorry to hear that.
But I plan to rescue him. And I believe you can help me with that.
We can? How?
Lord Capon is held at Malashov.
Our Malashov? I don't envy him. I was planning on fixing the roof before they took it from us. It's full of leaks. I doubt its new master will lift a finger to do anything about it. But tell me, why would I meddle in matters that don't concern me?
Well, we all stand on the same side. Against Sigismund.
That is undoubtedly true. I don't like that ginger bastard either. Especially since his people started sticking their fingers in my coffers. But to get involved in something as dangerous as freeing a captured nobleman in a territory conquered by Sigismund?
We have to do something to help. I know it's dangerous.
Dangerous? It's madness. What if somebody finds out?
Nobody will know.
You haven't been in Kuttenberg for long, have you? I'd only end up with my head on the chopping block. And I don't even want...
That's true. As long as Vavak's breathing down our necks, we have to be careful.
Who is he, anyway?
Ulrich Vavak von Neuhaus. The new mint master appointed by Sigismund himself. He's had it in for us ever since he took over the office. He's been pressuring me to hand over my mining rights. It seems he'd like... And now we've killed his men. The king's men. I'll have to reach deep into my pocket to get out of that. Like Rosa said, lad. As long as Vavak is around, my hands are tied. I'm sorry.
Then let's get rid of Vavak. He must have some weakness, right?
There may be one. It's obvious Vavak is getting richer than his office warrants. There are rumors going around that he's stealing the king's silver. He even uses it to mint counterfeit groschen. If Sigismund were to find out, he'd have him executed at once, regardless of his noble blood.
But you need evidence to make such an accusation.
Exactly.
But how do we find it?
Some of the silver goes missing somewhere along the way to the mint. And we have to find out where.
Find out? But how? They don't let just anyone into the mines and smelting works.
You're right. Only authorized people are allowed in. My friend Peter of Pisek. They ousted him from the Mintmaster's office, but his brother Christian remained in the Italian court. He wanted to become the Mintmaster himself, but because of Vavak, he had to settle for the steward's office. He hates it.
And that's saying something.
Christian and I were just talking about his suspicions. He'd welcome any dirt you can dig up on Vavak. If you go to him and ask for help on my behalf, I'll help you free Lord Capon in exchange for evidence of Vavak's fraud.
All right. It's a deal. I've already met Peter of Pisek, and I know he can be trusted. Let's hope the same goes for his brother.
Excellent. You'll find Christian in Horshan at the estate. Tell him the password, Via Argentum, the pot of silver. He'll know who he... But be careful, both of you. This is our last chance to stop Vavak.
We'll be praying for you. Take care of yourself, stranger. I hope you come back to us soon.
Careful! Christ almighty.
doggy.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
You're always welcome here. I can't light it. The kid's pissed on the wick. I can't light it.
Christ, pardon me.
God be with you. What would you...
You must be the local...
That's right. They call at least them that can speak. Greetings, Henry.
I hear there was a murder here recently. Some young girl?
True. True. She's lying in...
Another? Why would anybody come to look at her?
People ain't got no respect. As soon as news spread about what was done to her, folk are always turning up to have a gawk. Though if you ain't one of them gawkers, you must be one of them other types. Well, no, you can't shave her. No, no thumb for a souvenir.
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
Someone killed the poor girl. You can't just let...
Well, what do you plan on doing?
Find out who did it and bring him to justice.
Well, if that's the way it is, and you really want to help... It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those...
No, no.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And who is this Lumiere?
He used to work for the local bailiff. I think he knew the first one what was killed, but that was a...
Do you remember how many...
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are...
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last...
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here.
Look for clues.
That can help you?
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle. Though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about...
I'd like to speak with Lumiere.
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff. I don't know exactly why, though.
Thanks.
It's my pleasure, especially helping... Actually, wait, speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
And do you know where I could find her?
She said she serves in one of the burgers' houses. So either there or in the morgue with that poor dead girl.
Thanks again, Master Gravedigger. Are you Barbara?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Oh, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local...
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Our master is a bit strict.
What's his name?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a train.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
He couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't... And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never...
I heard about that. And...
Well, if you're interested, maybe you'll catch him sober enough to talk sense.
Do you know of any suitors?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely, but she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never.
Do you know what exactly happened?
No. Nobody. One day, she just didn't come home.
What do you mean, like this?
You haven't seen her yet, have you?
I haven't.
Then don't. She was such a pretty girl. And it didn't even leave.
What do you mean?
Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you... So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there. Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger... It couldn't have been a long sword. It would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? And her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. Just some scratches and bruises. The killer probably surprised her. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her, then he took a short sword or sabre and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue, then left her lying there for all to see. Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Kath.
God be with you, my friend. Greetings.
Lumir?
Oh, Christ,
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud.
That's some hangover. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get... This should sober... Here. Better?
What?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House?
I used to be.
Well, you don't look crazy.
Yeah. But I am. I see things in my head that aren't real. And then I point my finger at the wrong people. I'm the biggest madman in Kuttenberg.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
She deserves justice. I simply can't let her kill.
You mean well. But you don't know what you'll get. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mock. What makes you think you can find out more?
Because I know people, and can easily... In the end, they spill their...
Is that so? What about...
A moment ago you were moaning in pain, and now you're deliberating whether or not to tell me what you know.
Oh, who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too. As were most of the other victims.
Well, I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murderer?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls. Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't...
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background? No. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor, and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like...
Why were you looking into it? Who...
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long... Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords.
Exactly. There are common folk too. There's a lot more of them. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until... recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
What can you tell?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started... She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the Church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, they found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the 2 girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what...
What about...
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute.
You said her body was never found.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The hole is a world of its own, and the people there...
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people... The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chat.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have...
Yeah.
And what about that Zdena?
Exactly. But besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few.
But if her body was never found...
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Young, beautiful. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a cat. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be...
And what about the other?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her. So I couldn't find out anything. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maid. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty, and knew she could do better than some farm.
You mean she wanted someone higher?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to...
In the graveyard, lad. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And they can't help us. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything.
Did you have...
You can always find some suspects. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And...
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here. And I believe they were... Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4. The most recent ones. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by father. The next were Stanya and Zdena. They both hung around a tavern they called the... And the last victim is Alice. What they all have in common is that they...
Good.
When you learn something more, you've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad.
Christ be praised, sir. God bless.
I know it's wrong.
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Father?
I don't have time for theological discussions.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first...
Another one murdered. Why is it you ask?
Somebody is murdering maids here.
Yes, but those poor souls are all...
I don't want revenge. I want to stop more killing. That's a better reason, isn't it?
True enough. What do you need to know?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka? She was an
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little...
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died...
You raised her?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my...
No offense, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife?
I was a bit, son. When she was smaller, maybe I was too hard on.
Why do you think you were too...
Yarka was an orphan, with no family. Her only chance of a good life was a... But the more I led her in that direction...
How did she...
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you...
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
How does that even work?
When she was small, I could. But when...
You're well off, though.
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's.
Why don't you respect Lumiere?
That's my business. I won't tell you.
But this is important. Do I look like someone who's asking out of curiosity?
Lumiere accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how...
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music. I'm sure he got her with child.
Why do you think it was William?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messed...
And does anyone else?
No.
I've heard enough, Father.
Son, I'll give you some good advice.
Excuse me?
Here, Mutt!
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, eat shit. You're just pissing people off with your bullshit.
Here, noble sir.
You can fuck yourself.
Is it normal for a skeleton to sit at the table in this tavern?
Hugo? He's been sitting here with us for a couple of years. He doesn't talk much, but...
Why did you do that? You should have fucking stayed out of it. Now that's what I call an opening. Come on, then.
Is that today's special, or is it part of the decor?
Good day.
Greetings to you. How can I help?
Did Estanya...
Stanya. It depends on...
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is what kind of guest...
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. So, what'll it...
What if I simply paid you? I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more.
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open. Everything emptied out. And Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink.
You're quite...
I prefer to be called... So, what'll it...
I'm getting tired of this. Now you're going to spill it.
All right.
Did anybody see what actually happened?
No, it was at night. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you...
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nib it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
Well, doesn't seem too bad.
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings.
You think he might have been the one?
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say...
Or in this case, a murder. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean...
Well, I got bad news for you. She had two close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared. And she died. And the other one got married.
How did Stanya's...
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but...
Blood?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do...
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know... So if I was you, I'd look...
That's all I need to know.
God be with you.
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdenna?
Who the f...
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers. All you're gonna get here is a...
Why so rash? Let's make a deal. You tell me everything you know about Zdenna.
Ah. You're the lord what that whore robbed. Don't worry.
So, if I understand correctly, we can make a deal?
For the right price, I'll tell you all I know.
Is this the right price?
You fucking bet it is.
Where can I find Zdenna?
Aye. That's what I like to fucking know too.
Yeah.
I can well imagine. Well, she went to Ravstein Mill. It's quite a long ways away. She had some unfinished business with some bloke called Pint. Ain't nobody seen her since then.
Did she have any friends or lovers who'd know more?
Who'd come to see that bitch? She was always off somewhere, seeing someone.
Someone came to see her?
Well, aye. Some stuffed frock came here once. All old, and he said he had some job for her. That she should leave behind her sinful life and all that shit. But he left empty-handed. She told...
Do you know who that priest was?
Some fucking Prokop or Pravoslav or some such shit. But that reminds me. I saw her a couple of times with another bastard. That fucking bard, William.
What do you know about this?
Not much. Seems they knew each other from before. And he had some job for her somewhere. But she weren't stupid. She told...
And did he go?
Aye, indeed. He didn't look like the kind of fella that would knock some sense into a woman. I think he just told her if she changed her mind to come and see him. Or some shit like that.
And could she have changed her mind and gone to him? And that's why nobody's seen her?
No, no.
And could she have run away with this?
With that Lily... Well, he ain't been seen in town for some time. But I think someone was at... He still don't come here no more. He plucks that loot of his in the Miners' Tavern.
What can you...
What do you want to hear? I try to keep her out of trouble, but there's...
So you were taking care of her?
Well, just in front of the others. Other than that, she did what she wanted. Always made her mind up and did things her own way.
So you weren't too fond of her?
Not really, no. But she did have a knack for making coin.
I've heard enough.
God be with you. So you can avoid danger. Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all.
Where does the water come
the
from?
one called...
Here, in the middle of the city.
I'll have a new dress for the occasion, so I look a bit more presentable. A new dress,
Welcome, sir.
What's new?
Nothing much. If you're looking for... I'll have a look at the... Thank you, sir. And come again.
It's William, right? I need to talk to you.
What is it?
My name's Henry. And no, we don't know each other, and you don't owe me money. But we do have something in common. We have a lot of mutual friends.
What? What do you want of me? I don't have to talk to you.
You don't need to. I can go and chat with the guards instead.
What?
I don't have anything to do with any girls.
Really? You? A notorious skirt chaser? Do you think anyone will believe you?
I just got back to the city. I don't know what you're trying to pin on me, but whatever.
But everyone remembers you. You better spit it out before someone points the finger at you.
Come on. All right, then. Ask away.
Did you know Alice?
I know a lot of Alices. You have to be more specific.
The one they found dead somewhere below...
Oh, her. I didn't know her, but I heard about it.
I heard she used to go to dances.
Yeah, and? I'm not the only musician in the city.
They say she had a rich young suit.
Me? Do I look rich to you? I get paid...
But you could at least pass yourself off as well.
Or I could claim to be the Virgin Mary, but I doubt anyone would believe me.
And did you ever meet Yarka? It was a long time ago, but I heard she used to hang around you.
Oh, that one.
Because somebody killed her.
I know what happened was a tragedy, but it wasn't my fault. She stopped talking to me long before that. Honest.
And did you know she was pregnant?
What? Yarka was... That's horrible. Who would kill a pregnant woman?
That's what I'd like to find out. What about the unwilling father-to-be? It wouldn't happen to be yours.
What? Mine? I never even got under her skirt. We just flirted a bit, and then she stopped.
And can you tell me anything else about it?
I don't know anything. It was a long time ago.
And I hear you knew Stanya.
Which one do you mean?
The alehouse wench from the hole. I heard you had something with her too.
Well, she batted her eyes at me a couple of times when I was still playing there.
And the innkeeper Mole told me a different story. He said...
Fine, we had a bit of fun together. But she was always the one who started it.
And aren't you just saying that because she left you?
Oh, come on! I could have any woman, if I wanted. The innkeeper must have got it mixed up. He's an old drunkard, after all. If I was you, I wouldn't take him too...
And what about Zdena? You knew...
Do I know Zdena? As wild as the wind and always full of life. And those nimble fingers. You always had to check your...
Did she steal something from you?
A travelling minstrel doesn't have much to steal, but she was well aware of that. She was on the lookout for some better prey.
You don't happen to know who she wanted to rob?
There were lots. Anyone she thought was rich enough who let her ply her charm, like young von Groller. When he started coming here, she got to him right away. Said she was gonna rob him blind. As far as I know, she didn't succeed. If she robbed a noble like von Groller, word would get around. Look, why are you asking me about all this? You don't seriously think I killed her, do you?
Well, you did know them all.
And? I'm surely not the only one.
That may be true. But everybody knows you're a skirt chaser, and they were all... And now...
But I had nothing to do with it!
Confess, or this won't end.
What do you mean?
If you come clean and get lucky, they'll hang you. If not, you'll get the rack. So, did you do it?
No, I didn't!
I don't believe a word you say.
You're out of your mind! I didn't do nothing to those girls. Nobody will believe you.
Nobody has to believe me.
I'm sorry.
Not a chance. I'd sooner see hell freeze over.
That's a shame. There's something I need from you.
What would you like? I need to get... I'll get right coin up. I'll pay. Here are your grots.
Thank you very much. Now then, where is...
Here is your horse.
Look at that glistening mane.
Easy. Easy.
Growling at me like I was a
Nice and
stranger.
slow.
Leather pouches, pouches, belts, straps, all from the finest leather.
Go! Quick! Ka! 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 Go! Go! Quick! Ja!
Oh, God.
Why? Lovely tree like that. It's a nice
Huh?
place to rest when you're passing by in the summer. The only...
Hey, you...
Good man. Do you... I haven't had a bite.
Maybe I can...
Thanks.
Ah, what a treat this will be.
Ka! Ka!
Whoa!
My humble respects.
I need to ask you something.
I don't have time for that.
I'm looking for someone named Stan...
You're in a charcoal camp, fella. What would a woman be doing here?
But you know Stanya.
Aye. You could...
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that. But that was a long time ago.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate. But even if I did know, how can I...
Lumir himself, the Kuttenberg bailiff's former scribe, gave me the task.
Well, I don't know. I remember Lumir. He was all...
But what? What are you still brooding over?
You seem like the right man for a job like that. Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya...
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us. Since that thing happened, she's afraid to even go outside. I don't know what to do with her anymore.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. but be nice to her. She's in a bad way. Take care.
God bless you, sir.
Who are you? If you came here, I'm not afraid of you.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me.
Lumir thought you were dead. I was supposed to find out what happened to you.
Lumir? From the rat house. He sent you.
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since...
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye. Without a...
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all. I didn't see anything until he jumped out of the shadows and grabbed me around the neck. And he was terribly strong. I nearly blacked out right away.
And how did you manage to break...
I had an empty pitcher in my hand, and I hit him with it. He howled and let me go, and I ran away.
Here? To the...
No. First, I was so scared there. I took what I could
And your lover? What did he say?
At first, he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the pitcher, and he's been hiding me here since then.
What was it like working...
Well, I earned a few groschen, that I did.
How so?
Every single day I had to put up with their lewd remarks. Rich or poor, everyone wants to grope a girl. People, well, us girls have to watch out, especially in a place like... But you can't overdo it either. That's no good.
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, then sometimes they leave a groschen. Or even, you have to keep a balance. To look friendly...
You said that rich or poor, they all like to
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place for a rich man, but young von Groll...
Is that so?
He smiled at me a lot, so I smiled back, but beyond Then this thieving wench started hanging around him and... Oh, but that servant of his didn't like it, tried to drive her away, and so the young lord stopped bringing him with...
Von Grolla had a servant with him?
Aye, a pudgy fella. Well dressed, but he never said a word or smiled, or even said thank you.
You walked home from the bath?
What's so odd about that?
Well, not...
Ah, right. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale, and took a bath while they drank it.
Ah. So that's why you had the empty pit...
Right. I went there
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way. The shortest one.
And who knew that you went by yourself?
Well... Everyone from the tavern, I reckon.
Why didn't you go back?
Just to get murdered there. I'm never going back there.
How are you now?
And I can't even...
Do you remember any... And what about when you hit him? What...
He let me go.
Aha. And what did he say?
He said Scheisse. In German.
Seems you're the only one to survive the killer's attack. I know it isn't easy for you to think about it. Or when you were running away. Anything...
I don't know.
You were walking down the street. Did you notice...
No.
You didn't see anything or hear anything?
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty. I heard somebody talking. But when I looked, there was nobody there. So when somebody grabbed me...
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Not at all. But there were two voices. Two of them waiting for me there.
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then?
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a total bastard. Only when I got to my room, I could hear him snoring.
Couldn't it have been
Father Prokop?
No, he's pretty old. He preaches in the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul.
I don't know him,
And if he's an old man, how strong could his grip really be?
I heard William liked pretending to be a spy. Do you know anything about that?
Aye, I thought it pretty silly. A stupid trick to make himself seem more though I reckon he's more likely to attract an ass-kicking than a woman.
It's difficult, I understand. Aside from those voices and the empty strip.
I didn't hear him at all. And then he grabbed me.
And nothing else?
Well, no. He grabbed just for a moment, but I still had a big bruise round my neck for weeks. Barton said the man must have had a terribly strong grip. Like...
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not able to help.
You don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you for a favour?
If it's in my power.
When you catch that bastard, would you please let me know?
I'll stop by if I can.
Take care then.
You're in a foul temper today, aren't you? For fuck's sake. This bloody war's all we need.
Quick! God! Quick! Whoa! Quick! God! 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 Go! 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 God! Go! Quick! God! Quick! Go! God! God!
Lord be with you.
Are you Pint?
I am.
I'm looking for his denner.
I don't know any Stenner.
Sternad said something.
You're a friend of Sternad.
God forbid. That's all I need. A friend like that bastard.
You're right there. Zdenna was always cursing him. He was as lazy as a pig, but always...
So you knew Zdenna?
I know Zdenna all right, but she ain't been here in some time. Why are you looking for her? What do you want from her?
I'm looking for a... Back in the city, they think she's either dead or run off somewhere.
Whatever.
What can you tell me about Zdenna?
She always had it hard. She lost her parents and her home as a child. She had to learn to take care of...
And what about Sternad? How does he fit?
Sternad was her guardian angel. If she hadn't been thieving with him, she probably would have ended up a whore. But by sharing with him, she could do what she wanted.
Uh-huh. I'm surprised she stuck with...
That's because she had a hideout somewhere nearby. That's why she'd come to me with her loot, before they taxed her on the spot. And the last time she was here, she said one more haul like this, and she'll be able to go wherever she wanted.
I heard she wanted to sell you some valuables.
Oh, aye. She had a good haul. No rubbish. Mostly jewelry. She left it all here. I paid her a pretty sum of coin. It was a good thing she had a basket with her. Otherwise, she couldn't have kept...
And what about that signet ring?
She didn't sell me the ring. She wanted to keep it. Said it...
Do you know what kind of luck she meant?
No. I didn't recognize that signet. But all the while, Zdenna was giggling to herself.
Where did she go next from here?
That she did. She also had a feeling someone was following...
Someone followed her on a horse from Kuttenberg. Did she say what
She didn't. At first, she thought it was some wealthy lord out for a ride. But he held back. Never passed...
And did you see him? Did he come all the way here?
No. But Zdenna thought he would show. She even left her scarf here and paid some girl to walk around with it to make it look like she was still here.
And then where'd she go?
She wanted to go the back way, through the woods. Past the woods is a road and a ford across a stream. Next to it is a huge boulder. When it rains...
Well, if it leads back to the road and there was really someone following her, I reckon if they saw she was long in returning, they could have waited for her at the...
Fuck! I made a point of looking, but I didn't see any riders that day.
Is Denna's scarf?
Aye. I wanted to give it back to her the next...
Will you give it to me? I'll try having...
All the same to me. Here you go. But it's been a long time.
And could it have been
What do I know? If he has a horse and fancy clothes...
I heard he wanted to find her an honest job, but she wasn't interested.
I don't know. She didn't say...
And could it have been William?
And who would that be?
He's this bard she was seeing.
I don't know about that.
Well, I'll go and check out that...
I hope you don't. Farewell, sir.
That has to be that ford Pike was talking about. I should take a look around here.
Here, Matt. Search.
What have you found, boy? Poor thing. She didn't get very far. Ugh, she's been lying. At first glance, this body isn't as mutilated as the other. Unfortunately, I can't... Too long for that, but her head is smashed in. Either the murderer hit her with a rock, or dashed her hard against the ground. She must have put up a fight. Or maybe he lost his patience. Oh, she's all stuck to her clothes. They're torn up. The rips are odd. Like someone was looking for something. Oh, I can't make much out by now. Did the murderer torture her? Or was he trying to get... Oh, my God. Oh, how did it get inside her? Did she swallow it herself? Or was she trying to hide it? Or was it punishment? That's enough. But what does it all mean? I'd say she put up a decent fight, and the killer had to improvise. And that's about all I can find out. She's probably been lying here a few weeks. But that ring is a good lead.
Track.
I found out some
That's wonderful news. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking me questions. Just like you.
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it go?
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer is?
Not exactly, but I have a few ideas.
I've asked around a bit and...
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details.
Oh, I didn't do all this for nothing, did...
Well, I...
Well? Who do you say...
Well... I'd say...
You can't be serious.
Uh-huh. And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's it.
So I see we disagree. Too bad.
Well, who do you...
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll...
Go on, then. Start...
Let's talk about Yar...
What did you learn about her?
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know...
What do you expect from a Bible?
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure...
And did you learn who he found?
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started working for the...
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she...
Ah, so what's the story?
A very wealthy... The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Groller's been sick for...
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel, they say.
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart.
Really? But
His own relative.
why not? He's a priest.
Before her death...
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William.
That doesn't mean any...
It means she had some relation.
And now, most importantly...
I didn't know that.
To make it impossible to tell she was pregnant? I wouldn't be surprised.
May God forgive her.
Do you know who she was pregnant with? Because if we know who the father is, we'll...
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances.
Prokop is convinced that she was
I heard the daughters of important men come to see him. It even went so far he had to flee the city. And the moment he...
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was a mistake.
And were you as sure then as you are now about William?
I don't think so. But he's a skirt chaser. If he got Yarka pregnant...
Perhaps. But why would he kill and mutilate her? He could have just run away.
But then he could never come back.
Why not? He could come back a year later, once things have died down, the child would be born, the shame forgotten, and no...
I suppose that's all I was able to find.
You still found out more than I...
But it's not enough.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her to make sure nobody found out she...
I'm sure William wanted...
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Such language. What are you trying to say?
That making babies and murdering folks require different tools.
But who would it be if not the
Someone who stood to lose something because of the child.
Freedom?
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found...
I did. Alive and well.
So, she's not one of our victims?
She is. She just managed to escape the killer. She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking, but when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started...
And how...
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt, but he let her go.
Did she get a look at him? Did she take his eye out or something?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so... She said she returned from the baths in the evening regularly, and somebody knew exactly which...
You mean someone followed her before?
Who knew that she went to the...
Apparently everyone in the tavern. She didn't hide. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a
Doesn't almost every...
Depending on what they take in hand every day.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? According to...
That's strange, right?
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said, Scheisse.
So, we're looking for...
Even I say Scheiße sometimes.
Besides that, she also...
So we have a witness.
Or an accomplice. If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to...
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him.
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst...
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried...
And that's probably why he wanted to kill her.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole, and that's all that Stanya told.
I'm so glad they're good.
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck.
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now they'll come back for her, she doesn't even leave the house. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her?
No.
And where did you find her?
Pretty far away. Near the mill she used to... Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous. and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle him.
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. Judging by what her... And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
She said someone followed her on horseback from Kuttenberg. She tried to lose him, but apparently...
On horseback? I don't suppose...
Only as a wealthy type who never got too close.
That doesn't fit in with a
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena, and nearly...
What did he have in common with a thief?
He had also looked after her. But unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street. Zdena tried to rob young von Grolle.
Von Grolle? Yarka worked for them, didn't she?
That whole
Assumptions. Nothing more.
I'd say it's pretty obvious. Why else would I have found that ring on her?
They just left the ring by her body? That's odd, isn't it?
It wasn't by her body. It was inside of it. I don't know if she swallowed it herself, or...
That's awful. But I...
My mouth is starting to hurt from all this blabbering.
So are my ears and head.
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our suspect. So, Henry...
I suspect one of the von Grolles.
What leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
Yarka was pregnant. And if the father was young von Grolle...
Sakra!
But William could have fucked her too.
Yarka was there...
Yes.
Perhaps the young lord?
That's possible.
Alice had...
True.
Zdena was followed by someone on a horse.
That's not so sure, is it?
But it certainly worsens the case for him. That much is true.
Zdena robbed von Grolle.
That's true.
It's all coming together.
And that's all I can pin on him.
So, do we agree that it was young von Groll?
Well, old von Grolle can't do much now, can he?
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect is young von Grolle?
Aye. I agree.
I don't have a problem with it. Little rich boys are capable of anything. But what are we gonna do about it?
They'll just laugh at us without something more tangible.
So, you want to search their house?
There's nothing else we can do. There must be a...
We have to find some evidence. None of our conjecture is enough.
You could sneak in there.
Or break in.
Catherine, that's not necessary. The young lad wants to learn swordsmanship, and the old one is sick and always calling for a physician.
So I can either pretend to be a sawbones, or a swordsman, or break in?
You're a clever lad. You'll figure it.